This is Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert. He has gone off the deep end. He is a racist, hateful nutcase at this point. And I can't tell if he's just a bad person or if he's just been like terribly lied to. So I want to talk about some of the stuff he had to say. He's on a social media tear at the moment, but I want to step back and look at some of the stuff he said previously. This video is from February 22nd, 2023. Just listen to what he had to say here.
Well, Rasmussen poll had a provocative little poll today.
Rasmussen is really, really biased. It's a terrible, like, far-right nutcase news thing, quote unquote. Maybe they just do polling. I'm not sure if they do stuff other than polling, but it's really far right. Anything that they do is going to be like race baiting, basically.
They said, do you agree or disagree with the statement, it's okay to be white?
This is very clearly race baiting, right? It's like, why isn't there a white pride month, quote unquote? Because white isn't an ethnicity, and it's not a minority group. You want an Irish Pride Month? Do it. You want a German Pride Month? Go nuts. You want an English Pride Month or an Italian Pride Month or a Chinese Pride Month? Whatever. White pride has very specific connotations. And when Rasmussen says this, they're shouting out to that. They're dog whistling to those connotations. So when somebody hears it's okay to be white, they're automatically thinking that this is like a white nationalist.
That was an actual question. Rasmussen asked, white and black voters, and probably others, do you disagree or agree with the statement, it's okay to be white?
Dude, I love that he didn't even check the methodology on this.
26% of blacks said no. It's not okay to be white.
Obviously, completely incorrect. I remember when this poll came out, and it was misrepresenting the data and creating leading questions, leading answers, and everything else. It was just a nonsensical poll. Nobody cares if you are white.
21% weren't sure. Add them together, that is 47% of black respondents were not willing to say it's okay to be white.
Okay, well, that's kind of twisting it around, but whatever. I mean, it's already twisted around.
That's like a real poll.
Not really.
This just happened. So I realized, as you know, I've been identifying as black for a while, years now.
Dude is a complete piece of trash. He's very far right, and you'll see why at the end, why I think he's completely off the rails in La La Land now. He kind of tips his hand at the end and shows us. But when he says, I've been identifying as black, he's just being a scumbag, basically, and making fun of trans people. You can identify as anything you want, You can identify as a cat. Well, I identify as black.
Because I like to be on the winning team.
Because the black people are the winners. I'm sorry, the blacks are the winners. You can't say black people, can't say black community, can't say African American. No, it's the blacks, just like in the Turner Diaries. I just finished writing a book titled Was Hitler an Atheist? It talks about religions during the Third Reich and how they work together. Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Protestants. And I even address the lies told by the evangelical world about Bonhoeffer. It's on Audible and Amazon. Okay, let's continue.
And I like to help. And I always thought, well, if you help the black community, that's sort of the biggest lever. You can find the biggest benefit. So I thought, well, that's the hardest thing and the biggest benefit.
Oh, so you telling me that you've been trying to use the black community to further your own goals and interests, and the moment it seems like you can't benefit from the black community, you just walk away from it and say, "F them"? Am I reading this correctly? No, sorry. Wrong sound effect. I didn't mean to give you that one. I meant this one.
Stop it. Get some help.
So I'd like to focus a lot of my life resources in helping black Americans. So much so that I started identifying as black to just be on the team I was helping. But it turns out that nearly half of that team doesn't think I'm okay to be white.
Again, like it didn't say it's not okay to be white. Even the poll, he's twisting the poll, which was already twisted. He said 20-something% said it's not okay, and then another 20-something% said not sure. even if we're assuming the poll is correct and honest, which it isn't, he's misrepresenting an already dishonest poll. This is how things get completely distorted and twisted up into a mess with things like this right here.
Think I'm okay to be white, which is, of course, why I identified as black, so I could be on the winning team for a while. But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't
Something tells me that's not true.
know that that's ever happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it, and you go, whatever. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group.
He thinks that black people are a hate group. This is vile.
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me.
No, that's not what the poll said. You know that he's an atheist, famously, and a member of Mensa and all kinds of other things. Like, in another universe, we would agree. He would be on our side, generally, politically and logically and religiously. But he is just off in La La Land somewhere else that I don't even know where he is now. His head is just gone. So I talked about the Turner Diaries recently, so I'm not going to rehash this, but this is the exact thing that the Turner Diaries lays out. It's the white nationalist, like the Nazi playbook. They say that, I'm going to put this in the Turner Diaries clip too. Genocides have to be planned. They're not spontaneous. It's not something where you just you go out and, you wreak havoc or whatever. Like Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass, where people rioted in Germany and burned down synagogues and stuff. That happens, but that's not a genocide because it's not organized. It's just haphazard. And they're not seeking people out specifically and setting up a full bureaucracy and organization to bring an end to people's lives. Genocide or holocausts, they have to be planned. The Turner Diaries is the plan. That's the plan. It was written to be the plan. So anyway, what he's laying out here is straight out of the Turner Diaries. This kind of thing right here. Black people are not okay with white people. They want to hurt white people. They hate white people. We are the persecuted minority in the country, and we have to do something about it. Straight out of the Turner Diaries.
And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just
Yeah, great idea. Segregate, self-segregate. Awesome.
get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed.
The next step after saying this can't be fixed is the Turner Diaries, is a race war. That's the only solution if you believe that something can't be fixed, is changing it by force. This is psychotic. I'm not sure Scott Adams is following the Turner Diaries. I know that at least some people are, like Joel Webb, and I'm pretty convinced of that. I think Scott Adams is probably a true believer. I think that he's just gone down a completely ass-backward road that leads to nothing but hate.
You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm going to...
So you only want to help black people if it benefits you. Just reaffirming what he already said. Got it. You're not helping people to help them. You're helping them to help you.
I'm going to back off from being helpful to black America.
He was never helpful.
Because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist.
Why are you being called a racist? Again, this is right out of Turner Diaries too. They said that was the basis for jailing people in the Turner Diaries because they were being racist. A girl says that she doesn't want to be taken advantage of, and she's slapped across the face by her mom and called racist. This is all straight out of the book. I have to wonder if he's read it.
The only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help Black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. And I'm also
Again, solution when you reach that point in Scott Adams' head is race war. This is psychotic. And this next section kind of tips his hand. It kind of reveals like where he is in his head and in social media, shows what he's seeing.
And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of Black Americans beating up non-Black citizens.
What are you talking about? Where are you seeing these videos? Are these even real? There are statistically probably in the past 12 months, at least a few cases of a Latino beating up a white person or a Black person or a Chinese person beating up a Japanese person or whatever. Like, there are people that beat other people up all the time. When you cherry pick those examples, find every example you can of Black people beating up white people and post it to a Telegram channel, for example, and that's all you post, just those pictures, you're giving your audience a skewed understanding of the situation. It's no more prevalent than any other people beating up anybody else. It's not a problem that exists in society, like, at all. And the fact that he's seeing this tells me that he is on basically neo-Nazi and white nationalist forums, like Telegram channels and websites. That is the only way he'd come across something like this. Like an echo chamber that only feeds him that.
I realize it's anecdotal.
Really? It's anecdotal, you say? Wow.
And it doesn't give me a full picture of what's happening. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some Black person beating the shit out of some white person.
And that didn't tip you off that maybe you're stuck in an echo chamber? There's something called an epistemic bubble that's different from an echo chamber. An epistemic bubble is like when you're on Facebook and all of your Facebook friends are like Trump supporters. So most of the things you see on your Facebook wall is just pro-Trump stuff. You're not locked into this one media source, and you're not like turning off all other media sources or anything. This is just what you happen across. You're not being forced into reading anything. An echo chamber is different in that it's commonly created intentionally, and people are discouraged from or just don't want to find information outside of it. When people say echo chamber, usually they mean epistemic bubble. This is an actual case of an echo chamber, it seems to me.
I'm kind of over it. I'm over it, right? So I quit.
We're going to feel the loss of Scott Adams' help for the blacks, quote unquote, as he said. Give me a break, bro. Come on. I mean, Scott Adams is also famous for, well, in my, opinion, he's also famous for creating conspiracy theories knowingly and intentionally. He says, I'm an atheist, but I'm seeing 666 all over Joe Biden's campaign. That's weird, right? I don't believe in any of it. I'm just saying this is how Satan would operate. This is very clearly him just being a colossal scumbag, seems to me. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. This guy is just low. Just low.